This is Planet Music.
Welcome to Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan.
In a streaming world, we're proud to be a podcast that celebrates the art of the album.
Hello and welcome to Planet Music with me, Mezza,
And me, Craig. I'm excited to this one. I'm
you're
diving in there.
Like Flynn there, aren't you? And, and
Mikey?
thank you, Mikey. Mikey, see, Mikey's decorum. Look, there's classes, Mikey there.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Right. I thought you weren't going to bother there.
I was too busy. I was reading something. Sorry, I've gone down a rabbit hole again already.
Oh, God. As you can tell, folks, this is going to be a bit loose. This is the second of our imaginary compilation albums. Now that's what I call Planet Marzipan Volume 2. And what's the title of this one, Mikey?
This title is Silver Screen and Gogglebox Hits.
There we go. Wow. Well, there's a clue in the title then, isn't there? So we've each picked 4 songs, either from films or from the television.
Films?
Films. Or
I think it's all been films, to be fair.
Hey.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That either means something to us because of the music or means something to us because of the cinema, the film, or the telly show, or all of it, really. We did ask for some suggestions in our Facebook group, and we will come to that later on because we've got a nice list of suggestions. But because it's his idea, we're going to start with one of Mikey's picks. Mikey, what's your first pick?
My first pick's a bit of a deep cut. It's from the film The Beach, which was back end of 99, very early 2000. It's one of these, what the choice I've made is it's one of these ones where you can't separate the music from the film and vice versa. There's a couple of them choices that I've made. The song is Voices by Dario G. It very nearly was All Saints Purest Shores, which is from the same movie. It was a 50-50 toss a coin moment, and I landed on this one. It's got absolutely sublime guitar work by John Themis. He's worked with the likes of George Michael, Stevie Wonder, Natalie Imbruglia, who we'll come to later, Will Young, Sugar Babes, Elton John, Pet Shop Boys even. He's quite a big session player. And his guitar gives an organic side to the sort of like lush Ibiza chill out kind of sound that this track has. On its own, I suppose the track doesn't really mean anything to anybody. But I just think it's lush. I think it's euphoric. I think it's just full of sweeping textures. And it delivers what the film is perfectly. I think Pure Shores, my other choice would have been sort of like a setup to the film. This obviously very well known, but for me, Voices is the film. And it's just got absolutely beautiful singing on it. And it also features the London Session Orchestra and the London Community Gospel Choir. And it's just one of these songs that just lifts and lifts and lifts. And it's just, I think it's just beautiful. I honestly do. It's one of the few film soundtrack songs, like I say, that I just can't remove it from the film. It's you know, it's integral to it. And I love the film The Beach. It was one of them ones that I never watched at the cinema. It was a film that was recommended to me, and I was like, "Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, it's going to be, you know." And it blew me away. It
Was
absolutely
it a
blew me away, that
single? Was
movie.
this track a single?
Yeah, yeah. It was released in the UK in March 2000. Criminally, it only got to number 37. But yeah, Dario G were obviously quite well known for the Carnival de Paris for the World Cup and stuff that they did. Quite a um quite a different tact for them. They had quite a few feathers to the cap. Early 2000s, sort of like like I say, it's very, very electronic music. Usually they very heavily sample a lot of other artists to use in their music, but this one was just gentle euphoria, and I absolutely adore it. I really do.
It was a nice way to ease us into this compilation album, I think. Anybody else heard it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the music for the beach was kind of intrinsic to the whole thing. I mean, for me, I was actually going to pick Pure Shores, but I've went another direction. And I remember at the time, I didn't watch the film at the time, mainly because it was a Leo DiCaprio film, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm not interested. I then did watch it on DVD, and I was like, that's brilliant. It's really good. And I think the music is really well chosen for it. The music complements the film in lots of ways. And I love this song. I really do.
Yeah. Greg?
Yeah, it's very ethereal and it's very, very of its time. And I'd have picked Pure Shores, but I'm saying nothing about leching over the Appleton sisters at all. I'll just move along the bus.
He's dribbling, folks. He's dribbling. I've not really heard it. I'm listening to it as we're discussing it. I've got it in one ear at the moment. It's quite pleasant, isn't it? Very summer vibes, I would say, from the sound of it.
Very much. I mean, and the whole soundtrack is really. I mean, you've got Moby, you've got Left Field, you've got New Order did a track, didn't they?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So there's loads and loads of artists on it, and it's a well curated soundtrack for the film.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to add, Mikey? We're happy. Going to move on to track
No,
two.
no, you can move on.
Track 2 is my first pick, and it is from the Tommy soundtrack. It is Elton John's version of Pinball Wizard, which is already a fantastic song. This was released, Tommy, I believe, was 75, and this track was released as a single by Elton in 76. It's kind of the end of his Imperial period at the early 70s. From here, he kind of went into Rock of the Westies and Blue Moves, and we reviewed Blue Moves on this podcast very early on. It's where his popularity started to wane a little bit, but I think this version of Pinball Wizard, it sounds like a track that's not a cover. It sounds like it's one of his own tracks. It's got the Elton John band on there. There's that classic video with him wearing the stack heel shoes, and he shot from at sort of floor level up at Elton, so he looks about 20 feet tall, which is amazing. I just think the whole thing is based around the piano. It's brilliant. David Johnson's guitar on it. It's just amazing. I had to pick an Elton track. In fact, 3 of the artists that I picked, I had to pick a track by them. And this was it was either this or Circle of Life. And I love Circle of Life, but it was never going to be on this list. So yeah, Pinball Wizard from Tommy. Anybody else want to chip in?
It's iconic, isn't it, as a song? I mean, I think most people, when they think of the song Pinball Wizard, they don't think of The Who or Roger Daltrey. They think of this Elton version. I think it's the one that is in everybody's general, sphere of knowledge of the song. But it's an absolute corker. It's absolute classic. It's a banger, and it's top tune. We all know it.
See, I love Tommy. It was probably one of the first concept albums I was probably introduced to. And I remember vividly watching it on telly. I can't remember when it was. I must have been in very early double finger. Didn't mean to say that.
That's taking a turn like you want.
That was a Keith Moon slip, wasn't it? So.
Very early double figure age when I watched it for the first time. And I honestly thought it was an Elton song. you know, and there's no reason to think anything other. But yeah, even now, you just can't get the image of them boots out your head, can you? It's just an absolutely phenomenal track and far more uplifting than what's on the album as well. It's just awesome. It really is. It's Elton at one of his best albums.
We had a great run of singles around this time. You know, you've got this that was a non-album single. And you've got Philadelphia Freedom, which was a non-album single. You're putting some absolute bangers out that weren't even on albums. Anything on this, Grae?
Craig or Grae? Grae. I love it. I love it, but I love Tommy as a thing. I mean, you know, if you look at like Acid Queen and all the bits and all the different appearances on it and the whole thing is great. I do remember the first time I watched it though, just like
Double finger?
being astounded, just watching it and thinking at points you're like, what the? Because I was too young to understand it, you know, all the imagery and what was going on. You just look at it going, sorry, what? I know it's meant to be good, but really, but it is absolutely brilliant. I knew the music before I saw the film. Absolutely love it, and had no clue for years that the Who had done a version of it separate to the film, because the film was my introduction to it. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Cool. Okay, that's track 2 on our imaginary compilation. And now coming to you, Grae, for your first pick.
Yeah, and my first pick is a song called Burn, and not the one that will immediately jump to mind. This is one by a band called Mad at Gravity, and there's a Matthew McConaughey movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
the Reign of Fire. So
and Christian Bale.
Yeah, I like dragons. I'm into my fantasy, as John found out to his detriment in Pompeii.
They're all into it, folks. I'm the only sane person on here.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant film. Loved it, and I'm one of these sad. I tend to watch the credits for films, even more so now that you get all these post-scene credits. But I used to watch the credits anyway. So, oh, who did this bit and who did that bit, and try and work things out. And it transitioned into the titles, the end credits, and this music started. And if you have listened to it, it's like the tap-in style stuff that comes in, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Who's that? And I just basically waited till the credits come to say, you know, the song Burn by Mad at Gravity. Absolutely. But the album is fantastic. If you get the chance to look at it, to listen to it, do so. Absolutely brilliant. However, it came out just as the band fell apart. So there's been nothing to it. But I love I still listen to the album now, which is why I had to put it on. It's one of the rare occasions where I've watched the film, I've heard something in the film and thought, I need to know who that is. Because normally these things are done as lead singles. They lead into the movie, so you'll get videos that are released or they're used as part of a trailer. And I hadn't seen any trailers, so I don't know what it was used for. I just know at the end credits it appears, and it just, the musicianship in it, and I like the vocal style as well. Really, really blew me away.
Okay. Anybody else heard this?
Yes, but not for a long time. I mean, I haven't watched. I mean, we saw Reign of Fire. I think the weekend it came out, way back when.
Yeah, and knowing us, we're probably hot-footed it and walked as soon as the credits started.
Yeah,
toilets.
toilets.
We've got a KFC to get.
2002 it came out, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember enjoying Reign of Fire, the film, but say I can't really remember the song that much, and I haven't watched Reign of Fire for years, so I'll revisit. But listen to the track, you know, it's a canny rock tune, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to revisit it a few times because there's a lot going on in it.
There is.
Yeah.
You know, it's what I would call, inverted commas, very well produced.
I was going to say, it's not a muddy production at all for the type of track it is. It's very, you know, you can hear everything.
Yeah. On the album version that I've got, it actually comes with some acoustic tracks as well, and they do an acoustic version of this as well, which is really interesting to listen to, because it's quite a complex composition, and the way they do it in the acoustic format is actually very different and much simpler. It sounds just as good. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they go on to do anything else? Any individual members?
Not that I'm aware of. I shall have to. So you're going to send me down a rabbit hole, aren't you?
Well, while you do that, we'll go on to Craig's first pick then, because this is a complete 180. Craig,
Complete,
oh,
complete 180.
track 4's your pick. What you got?
As you know, I'm a big kid, and something that's stuck with me since I was a kid is being the Muppets. And yeah, as we all a bunch of Muppets as it is in any case. I picked Rainbow Connection by Kermit T. Frog, taken from the 1979 movie, The Muppet Movie. It is an absolutely gorgeous song. It is. I mean, it's been covered by everybody and their granny over the last 40 odd years. I mean, this was nominated for an Oscar back in the day. So I mean, you're talking the guys who wrote it just a couple of years before had won for Star is Born with Chris Christopherson and what's her name again?
Barbra
Who was
Streisand.
it? Barbra Streisand, yeah.
Barbra Streisand,
So yeah, I mean, the guys who did the soundtrack for the Muppet Movie were, noted songwriters.
By Paul Williams and Kenneth Asher.
There you go. Johnny's Wikipedia. But no, I mean it sums. I mean, the thing is, I mean, this was because the Muppet Movie came out after the first couple of seasons of the TV series, and I think what a lot of people don't realize that it's because of Lou Grade in the UK that the Muppets actually exist and got as big as they were, because the TV series and stuff like that was big in the UK because it was made in the UK and ITV had a big commitment to it. But no, the song's gorgeous. It sums up the kind of feel of the Muppets from the 70s. It's gentle, it's warm, and it's got a heart to it. And as a kid, I remember the first time I actually saw this was actually at school, because we used to have a film club. Mr. Griefs and Mr. Johnson, Mr. Calvert, they had a connection to the guys who used to get the films for like the local cinemas, so like the Odeon and things and stuff like that. So before they used to go, when they were on release, before they used to go back to the film companies, we used to get them. So the things like the Superman films and there's a load of films we got to see that were current at the time, sitting in the school hall at Hebburn Newtown Juniors and Infants and watching films after we're filming. This was one of the ones when I was in about, I mean, I must have only been about 8-year-old or so at the time. And it stuck with us.
Everything's gone sepia, Craig. What are you doing?
It has. It's all old school stuff. So
got shorts on and everything, folks. You won't believe this. There is a Wikipedia says that in 2011, Kermit reprised the song in the 2011 film The Muppets as a duet with Miss Piggy.
Yep.
Also, it says on The Muppet Show in 1981, they reprised it as a duet with Debbie Harry.
Yep.
That'd be worth hearing.
And I think, isn't there a new version with Sabrina Carpenter from this year as well?
Is there?
Yeah.
Not a patch on the original, as they would say.
Not a patch on the original. No. Again, I
was always left agog. And even as a kid, I remember him sat on that rock playing his guitar, singing it. I was like, it's a puppet, but how have they done that? Is he real? And then you doubt yourself for a minute and go,
yeah,
but isn't he? Or is he? But yeah, it's like Craig said, it's a really warm, heartfelt song. You can't take it away from them. It's nice. It'd be nice to hear not a frog singing it.
What would you like to sing it then?
I don't know.
Not easy being green.
There's lots of versions out there.
Debbie Harry.
Blows my mind.
Anything else to say on the? I mean, the Rae. It's a fantastic song, as Craig says. It is. It works on so many levels, doesn't it? It's it's childlike, but it's optimistic. It's uplifting.
And if you're of our generation, so many kids, it means so much to it.
There's that nostalgia that to things.
Exactly.
you can listen to any of the songs that became well known over the period of time. You know, even it's great. It's just making me smile just thinking about it.
Yeah, great pick, Greg. Great pick. Okay, that's track 4. Track 5 is Mikey's second pick.
Okay, this one is Identify by Natalie Imbruglia, which was recorded for the film Stigmata. It's another one of those that I can't separate the song from the film and vice versa. The film, again, another one passed me by, but somebody basically said, "You are watching this, we're watching it tonight, I'm putting it on the telly, and you will not move until you've seen it." And my jaw hit the floor throughout the entire thing. It is the one and only track by Natalie Imbruglia that I have on my Apple's iTunes. But I just think it's absolutely stonkingly wonderful. Co-written by Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins and Mike Garson, who eventually became a member of the Smashing Pumpkins, but his repertoire goes right back to Ziggy Stardust with Bowie. Originally, they wrote it with Shirley Manson in mind, as being the female protagonist of the song. But she basically turned them down without even hearing the song. Good old Shirley. But yeah, I just think it's so moody, but it's dreamlike. I think Natalie's got this very whimsical singing voice. There's a thing about Australian singers that have that sort of like almost childish lint to the singing, that the Dannys and Kylies of the world have also got. But this, to me, it's got a very sort of like Portishead feel to it. I also think that it also very easily could have been a Bond theme. I think anyway. But yeah, it wasn't released as a single in the UK criminally. It was only released in the US and didn't do much over there either. Didn't get a lot of promotion. So the music video for it was shoved on the DVD for the movie, and that's how I, basically got to learn about it. And I absolutely adore the song. I think it's wonderful.
Okay. I have to say I didn't know it until I played it for this, if I'm honest. So I can't comment other than sounds nice enough to me. Craig?
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the film Stigmata because it's Gabriel Byrne, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
was what's her face Arquette, who went into Medium. Patricia, yeah.
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah. I think Jonathan Price is in it as well.
He is.
But yeah, I remember seeing it. But it's a long time ago. Long time. So
It's a tough
I can't
watch.
remember.
It's a tough watch.
Yeah, I can't remember the song offhand, but I've listened to it back and I still couldn't remember it. But it's a nice tune, and we all like a bit of the Natalie Imbruglia.
Can't take him anywhere.
No, follow that.
I mean, I like the song, but I've got somewhere in my in my collection, I've got White Lily's Island and I've got Left in the Middle. I think were they the first 2 albums, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the albums. I think they're brilliant, and it is that kind of. You're right. There's that Australian pop sound to it, which very much of its time. But I really like the song. I love the film, and I think there's a lot of it. My next choice will be another example. There's a lot of it where the memory of the film really impacts the feeling about the song. The way you think about the song is intrinsically linked to the visuals, the experience, and what have you. And this is the same.
Okay. Anything else to say on that, Mike?
No, I'm spent.
Okay. Have a rest for a minute. My second pick is from the City of Angels soundtrack, and I believe a couple of the guys were going to pick other tracks off this album. In fact, somebody else coming up in a minute. It is Sarah McLachlan's amazing track, Angel. which is absolutely heartbreaking. It's a song about the death of Jonathan Melvin, who was the brother of Susanna Melvin and the one out of Prince, whatever her sister's called, out of Prince's band. But it's an absolutely heartbreaking song anyway. I mean, add to that the City of Angels film, which is just stunning, you know.
Tearjerker.
Yeah. I didn't know anything of Sarah McLachlan until I heard this song, and from there I kind of went into the album Surfacing, which is a wonderful record. Building a Mystery on there is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I do recommend, if you don't know anything of Sarah's stuff, that you pick out Surfacing as an album. I have it as a double pack with Mirrorball live album, but it's really, really good. But yeah, Angel is just stunning. Anybody else like the song?
It's amazing. But again, it's something that I cannot listen to it. I can't hear it without thinking of the film. And the film is one of those that, for whatever reason, just really hit me hard. There's so much of the film that is just brilliant.
Yeah.
Really emotional. It is a tearjerker. It's really well done. The soundtrack, again, is one of those ones, the curated choices are brilliant. And the music, the original score was Gabriel Yared, who did like Betty Blue and all that kind of stuff and stuff. I really like his work. So I think the whole thing, for me, the whole soundtrack for the film is just really well done. And some of the performances on it. So this one with Sarah, you've got the Goo Goo Dolls. With Iris is on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just
Gabriel's I Grieve is on there as well.
it is.
Clearly, yeah.
Oh.
I do recommend the album, Grae, the Surfacing album. It's worth a listen. You might have some sort of out of context there, which. Craig, anything on this?
It's been a long time since I've seen the film, and a long time since I've heard any of the soundtrack. So just playing it back, I didn't actually remember it offhand, but that's just me. But listening back to it, it's gorgeous. Just voice and piano, and it's yeah.
Some great live
I was suitably very impressed. I don't actually think it's a movie that I've seen.
Nicolas Cage. Oh, it's worth it.
Yeah, I really don't think I've seen it. When it comes to Grae's choice later on, I know the song well, so I'll put that to bed. But this one, I don't know Sarah McLachlan. I certainly didn't know this song. It is stunningly beautiful. She has got an amazing voice. Absolutely, it's one of the ones that you can feel your chest vibrating when she's singing. It just gets you right in the chest. Absolutely stunning. I've played it a couple of times today since you announced your set list. I think it's beautiful. It really is. Really nice choice, John.
Okay, thank you. Moving back to Grae then for the next track, which is your second pick, Grae.
Yeah, and it's another song called Burn.
It's Deep Purple, yeah.
No, it's not Deep Purple. You're wrong again. So, a band we have discussed previously on the pod, The Cure. And this is again Barnes. This is one of those songs that they released. It appears on the Crow soundtrack. So the original Crow, the Brandon Lee one, appears on the soundtrack, but it's not on a Cure album. And it is utterly brilliant. It's very. I don't know if it was at the time when they were doing all this kind of stuff, but it's very rhythm driven. It's very dynamic. Absolutely brilliant song. It fits in really well with the Crow. So it's used during times when the Crow's flying around and you can see all the action happening in bits and bobs. It's utterly brilliant. And I was really pleased when I went to see them at Wembley. God, how long ago was that? Was that 4 years ago when they did the 6 nights at Wembley? Burn was one of the songs in the set. And I don't know if anybody saw them on that tour, but their lighting was very much like a Jens thing. The lighting was far bigger than the stage. And during that song, the whole thing was on fire. It was absolutely brilliant. And the song's as good live for me as it was. I get really excited by it. I just think the song is absolutely brilliant. It's also, the Crow's one of my favorite characters. I've got the original graphic novels and stuff, and the film, that Brandon Lee film, for me was just amazing. We will not mention the remake.
Okay, we'll move on then. We won't mention it. Craig, have you heard this?
I wasn't familiar with it. I mean, I saw The Crow back in the day. What, did it come about 95, 96 or whatever?
94.
It's way,
Oh,
was
94.
it? Way back when, way back when. So I didn't remember the song. Listening to it, no, it's a good tune. It doesn't sound musically like you would expect from the Cure at all. It's very, very driving bass and
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
driving drums, and it's not like a commercial
bloody,
song or commercial single or
No.
anything like that. It's quite dark for them, yeah. But no, it's good.
Okay, Mikey.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, I think I eventually saw The Crow about 5 years after it had been released. It just didn't interest me in the slightest. So this song's passed me by completely, and I agree with Craig. It doesn't really particularly sound like The Cure, although I only really know The Cure up to a certain date. So it probably does sound like later Cure. Don't know, but it is quite dark, and it's a lengthy track as well. But it doesn't meander. It still delivers all the way through. Yeah, another one that I'm going to have to revisit, I think.
Wasn't aware of it. Quite interesting listening to it now. It's far better than anything on Disintegration. No, it really is. It sounds
No, it is. I totally agree.
It's quite interesting. Wasn't aware of it. I'll give it another listen. That's all I can really say.
So, for people who aren't aware of that kind of stuff, so a lot of people come through it via the band Stabbing Westwood. You know, sort of the industrial metal. So they have done the Burn EP, and they've got a cover of it, and it's really good as well. Really, it's just that, and it's almost as if it's almost like an industrial metal song when the Cure play it. It's very unlike the Cure. It has got that really incessant rhythm, the incessant drums, the guitar and stuff. So it is unlike the Cure stuff, which is probably why it sort of piqued my interest quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite good. I'm enjoying it. Okay, this could be anything. We're going back to Craig for the next pick. We're going. Where do we go from Kermit? Where do we go?
I think I'll stay in the 70s with this one. And it's our only Bond entry because we do want to do like some Bond soundtrack songs and stuff down the line. But I've in trying to pick a Bond song is generally quite difficult. But I'm gonna go The Spy Who Loved Me with Nobody Does It Better, Carly Simon, back from 1977. Purely, this was my first Bond movie as a kid at the cinema in Jersey in summer 1977, just before I turned 5. And it just stuck with me, this film and its soundtrack, and just got me into Bond as a kid and never got out of it. And this song is not really your typical Bond theme. I mean, everybody knows this song. You know, everybody knows this song. But it was a departure because it was the soundtrack. You know, it was one of the first ones where, you know, you'd gone. Was it Marvin Hamlish who did the soundtrack for this? You know,
it was.
So,
yeah.
and you know, an American doing the soundtrack for a start, and you know, it's not John Barry. Just to do with like availability and things like that, and a complete different like sound to it. I mean, especially things like Bond 77, and you know, very, very, you know, went into the 70s, and you know, the change of the whole style of music and stuff. I mean, you look going from all the orchestral stuff into Live and Let Die with Mr. McCartney, and you know, the every decade they've got a big change, and 77 was a big year for Bond, and The Spy Who Loved Me reinvigorated the franchise after The Man with the Golden Gun underperformed. But like I say, this song is an absolute corker, and nobody does it better.
Badum-tsh.
Right?
Oh, I love it. But I purposefully didn't choose a Bond song because I didn't know which one I actually wanted to choose.
Yeah, it's
Because
impossible.
there are
isn't it?
so many
Come on,
amazing songs. Just
to kill.
yeah, but I mean, there's a Bond song that cost me a pop quiz. We'll cover that at a later date. But there's a Bond song that cost me a pop quiz, and I'm still fizzing over it. But yeah, it's a brilliant song. It really. I mean, Carly Simon. Not a lot more to be said. Absolutely stunning. The song is brilliant,
Yes.
and even if you don't know Bond, you know the song. Everybody knows the song. It's quite. It's what we use the word quite regularly, but it's kind of an iconic track, isn't it?
Not synonymous with Bond, I wouldn't have said.
No, probably not now.
It stands up on its own, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not kind of linked to Bond, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, apart from the line "The Spy Who Loved Me" that's in it, you know, it could be just a Carly Simon song, and very, very, and it's delivered that way, you know. But yeah, there's nothing really more else to say about it. I mean, again, I could have picked umpteen Bond songs, and I still wouldn't have been happy with my choice, so stayed
Exactly.
well away from it. Stayed well away from it. I'm sure Mezza will be washing his hair the night that we do that special.
I'm gonna say it's on a very short list of Bond songs for me, of two probably.
Two.
Got to be more than two.
Just
There
mention
are at
the
least
other one.
four.
No, just mention the other one. What are you going to give me? Go on, a sneak preview of what you're going to talk about in the next Bond episode, boys. What are you going to give me then?
Chris Cornell.
No.
Oh God.
No.
Duran Duran.
Yes, that's my other one.
Okay, we'll give you that one.
Nice. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's almost a standard of this song now, I would say. Incredible lyric. There's what was it?
Yeah, Carol Beer Sager, usual.
Lyricist. Yeah, but there's but on Wikipedia in the background and composition to this, it says lyrically, Nobody Does It Better is a lust-drunk anthem about James Bond's sexual prowess. What a line that is! Who put that in Wikipedia? It's a great song, it really is. And looking at Craig's list, because I can see all four of them here, it's far and away the best thing he's picked all night, folks. So enjoy this one. Not building your part up there, Craig, or anything. Mikey, back to you. Oh my God, back to you for pick number 3. Could have been Craig's. This.
It could have been Craig's, and it was Craig's.
On the original list, it was. Yeah.
I could replace this with 30 other songs, but Craig let me have it. So, this is Bright Eyes, by Art Garfunkel, or sung by Art Garfunkel, for the film Watership Down. It's a song that kills me every time I hear it. It's a film that kills me every time I watch it.
Oh yes.
I broke my heart as a kid when I first saw it.
Oh yes.
And I think I've broke my heart every time I've watched it since. John Hurt as Hazel is as ingrained to me as I don't know, Darth Vader or James Bond. It's one of them synonymous things of my childhood. The song was written by Mike Batt.
Wombles.
Of the Wombles.
Craig's hero.
I knew Craig would get that in. It was Britain's best-selling single of 1979 and spent 6 weeks at the #1 slot.
Was it?
It was massive.
That
It
was
was
massive.
absolutely massive.
And apart from I love the effect. I don't know how they recorded his voice, but Art singing on this is just so slight but powerful, and the harmonies when they kick in are absolutely wonderful. When the oboes kick in, I feel like I'm just going to burst into tears. And the acoustic guitar by Chris Spedding, just absolutely beautiful. Oh, and percussion by Ray Cooper as well. it's just an outstanding track. Absolutely heartbreaking, and sit through it and not get a little bit relipped. I mean, one of my favorite verses, this is the verse that usually breaks me. It's there's a high wind in the trees, a cold sound in the air, and nobody ever knows where you go and where do you start. Into the dark. As soon as that line is start into the dark bit, I'm just no good. Puddle of water on the floor. I think it's a beautiful song. I think it's just absolutely wonderful.
Well, I've got to come to Craig after that because it would have been on your list, mate. So
Yeah, I mean the Mike Batts, he did his own version of it quite recently, and he's done some interviews and stuff on because he's
Dance mix.
revisiting some of his older stuff.
The dance-
And
no?
what?
A dance mix.
It's a dance mix of it, isn't it?
Right. But it's you know he was approached by the director of the film of Watership Down saying, "Oh, can you just write as a song about death that's not like too depressing?" And fuck me sideways, it's an amazing song. And like yeah, like Mikey, you know, like you get a tear in your eye when you listen to it. It's
I
heartbreaking.
use
But
the phrase "fuck me sideways" when you're talking about Bright Eyes.
You could,
Yeah, you
however,
can.
use the saying, hit me over the head with a cricket bat.
yeah.
Oh,
Craig,
God almighty.
talk to me about Bright Eyes, the song.
So I remember it fondly as a kid. It's insipid nonsense, but I remember it fondly as a kid. I understand. It is a really well delivered, absolute. But let's be honest, it's a beautiful romantic song from a fucking horror movie. All right,
Yeah.
you know that film scarred me as a kid. It's but yeah, but it was everywhere, you know. And I remember '79. I remember hearing it, and it was even when it wasn't number one, it was everywhere because everybody loved it, you know. And it's one of those things. It's one of those. It's intrinsic to my childhood.
I'm
Yeah.
a little bit older than the rest of the gang here, and I remember this being on in '79. I was a teenager, and I used to go to the youth club in Bishopthorpe near York, where I grew up, and there was a TV in the corner. We'd all watch Top of the Pops, and the room would be absolutely heaving with kids watching Top of the Pops. And then when this was number one, the room would empty quicker
I
than
thought you were going to say you used to go to discos at Bishopthorpe Working Man's Club, and this was the slow dance.
I did used to get discos at Bishopthorpe Working Man's Club, but not to listen to this. But this would clear the room, the TV room at the youth club, quicker than anything you've ever seen.
Just the right amount of time for a cigarette, and then you go back in.
But I wasn't smirking. It's a great song, and it evokes the film, and that's that's what it was there to do, isn't it? To remind you of the film and trigger it. Yeah, not on my playlist, but it is a great song. Back to me then. Sorry, I'm just listening to Art Garfunkel in my ear. My next pick is purely for the song, I have to be honest. This band had to be on my list, and if I picked the track from Wayne's World, it was too obvious. And I didn't want to pick Flash from Flash Gordon.
Or anything from Highlander.
Or anything from Highlander, because I'm not a massive fan of A Kind of Magic. Watch the rest of them. But there's
Shaun of the Dead.
Kind of Magic, which is absolutely amazing. And the track I've picked is from the film Iron Eagle, which I've never seen, but is One Vision by Queen. And this was really where Queen just got it together again for me. I think they recorded this track as a one-off, didn't they, in the studio at the time? It wasn't part of the album. And
because it came out a year before, came out in 85, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out. They went in the studio off the back of Live Aid, I think, off the sort of the buzz that they got from that, and came up with this, which is great. I mean, Brian May's riff at the beginning of this is just brilliant. I don't know how it fits into the film. Has anybody seen Iron Eagle?
Yep.
Yeah, a long time
How
ago.
does it fit in the film?
think it's just over. It's not over the end credits. I don't
I
think
think it's at
over-
the end. I think it's at the end
Yeah.
credits. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Lou Gossett
Lou
Jr.
Gossett
was probably
Jr.
the
is
fa-
brilliant in that movie. Lou Gossett Jr. I used to love him as an actor. I mean, it's quite an interesting cast actually. The film was
David Suchet the
very-
bad guy in it?
David Suchet was the bad guy in it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
Vaguely
very
remember.
poor man's Top Gun. Yeah.
Still a great song though.
Oh, it's an amazing song. Fried chicken and all that.
Yeah, great ending. Glad they left that in as well.
Yeah.
12-inch mix is quite interesting too.
It's
Anything else on-
probably, I was going to say the 12-inch version is probably up there with, it probably is my favourite Queen 12-inch version.
Not
they've
back,
done.
Kath.
Oh, I don't know. I like Hammer to Fall.
No, the headbanger mix, no.
Gotcha.
Blurred Vision. The
Blurred Vision.
mix, blurred Vision is
Right.
amazing. But yeah, there's nothing not to like about One Vision. Like John said, it was Queen back on the game. You know, it's just
No, long after the game.
long after the game. But it's just spot on. It's
is,
just
but there's better
faultless.
songs
It's
on the
a
album.
faultless track.
And I prefer a dozen red roses for my darling 12-inch.
Yeah.
If you do, that proves that your hearing's faulty.
I'm just saying it to get you to make that face.
John Deacon retired because of that song. If he didn't, he should have.
I think he realised how much money he could just make by not doing anything.
Yes.
Is why he retired.
This is it's probably, for me, it's definitely the best Queen song of this year. I know you guys love the record, and a lot of that is about when you got into Queen. It's just a really patchy album for me, and some of the songs were written for Highlander, and you know, it's just disjointed. But this was a standalone single with a really fun video and a great sleeve, and it just felt like my band was back, and you know.
I totally agree. So I love the album A Kind of Magic because I love the film Highlander. I don't love it because it's a Queen album. It's the storyline and the hooks into the film for me, not the album. I think One Vision is, if you asked me to pick songs from eras from that era of Queen, it would be One Vision. It is. There's nothing quite like it. It's like you say, everything they did on that song, they did it right. They got it right. It's the epitome of what they should have been in that period.
It is strange that it's on the Kind of Magic album, though. It's a bit like what Madonna did by shoving Vogue on the end of the I'm Breathless album. It just stuck out like a sore
They
thumb.
did it with Under Pressure as well, didn't they? You know what I mean? It was a single before the album. They put it onto the on Hot Space. It's
Yeah, but alternatively, Thank God It's Christmas didn't end up on an album, so it was just a single only track.
Well, that's fair enough, because you don't want to be
you
playing.
don't put a Christmas song on a normal album.
Do you? You know, you can
Come on, Craig.
back in vinyl. You know.
Yeah.
See,
for the
if
programme.
it'd been like nowadays, it would have been on as one of the bonus discs, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remixed 3 times. Yeah. But anyway, my third pick is One Vision by Queen from Iron Eagle. Grae, what's your third pick?
I've had 3.
Sorry.
Have I? Oh no, I haven't. This is all right. This is what. Sorry. All right, I can't count.
Oh, you got this.
I've jumped. So the reason I've just jumped ahead online and looked at the net, looked at my last one. So my third pick is strangely enough from the film City of Angels.
Oh, what are the chances?
Yeah, it's not Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. It is, however, the song Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. And I think for me, so I went to see her recently with my wife. My wife's favourite album of that period is Jagged Little Pill. She's just obsessed with the album and all that kind of stuff. Strangely, she's one of these people that she'll find an album that she likes by somebody, but then not listen to anything after that. So she doesn't.
And you've spent your life sleeping with one eye open, if that's her favourite album.
Exactly, I have.
Yeah. Moving all the sharp knives.
Yeah, I put a pillow between us and wear body armor to bed.
Yeah.
She'll
Never
there's, I love all of her albums. You know, I've followed her through, and initially this wasn't on normal releases; it was only on the soundtrack album. And I remember seeing the film and hearing because it's so well done with the piano, very very simple piano part. It's got strings to it which are just. I mean, if you don't know the song, there's live versions of it, there's unplugged versions of it. Every single version of it is brilliant, and the cover by I was going to say Judy Duke. It's not. It's Bailey Duke. It's not. It's Freemasons with Bailey Duke on vocals, isn't it? Which is absolutely brilliant. But Alanis Morissette's vocal delivery in this is spine tingling. It is utterly. It just makes me shiver. It is brilliant, and it's one of the reasons for me, along with Angel, that the film, the music that's picked for the film, with the sentiment of the movie and the heartache of Meg Ryan, isn't it? Meg Ryan's character, but the angst of Nicolas Cage's, it's epitomized by the songs that are chosen and the way they're done. And every time I hear this song, it breaks my heart. And I saw her live last year in Glasgow, and it was just as good now as it was the first time I heard it. It's just utterly spine-tingling song.
Yeah, it's epic, isn't it? As you said, it's a great soundtrack. It really is. This is a side to Alanis that I'm not really aware of other than this track. I don't think I've it. It's got a sort of almost a fragility to it that you don't really get on Jagged Little Pill, because that's not what that record is about.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful track.
I like the way that it's got fragility and bombast in the same.
Yes,
you know,
the string arrangement to it is utterly, it's just brilliant and really huge.
It is cinematic, for want of a better term, really. Yeah, I mean, I've never really delved into her catalog at all, but this is an interesting tune.
Yeah. I mean, the fragility thing is not very often. I mean, her first 4 or 5 albums were all very much the angry woman. I can't remember the name of it now, but there's an album that came out just after she'd had her first child and she became a mother. And her outlook on life, you can the music and everything, the lyrics change entirely. She turns into a happy lady, which is really kind of freaky in its own way.
Well, that was at the risk of sort of tarnish or pigeonholing it. That was her thing, wasn't it? It was this angry,
angst,
young woman.
Yeah,
and obviously life changed, and her whole outlook changed. Mikey, what do you think of this track?
I love this. I was actually my transition for this song wasn't via the movie, because as I said earlier on, I'd never seen it before. I'd been aware of the Freemasons remix and the Brothers in Rhythm remix of it, just through going on nights out and things. So I was always aware of like the dancier versions of the song, and obviously in time became aware of the original version, and it's up there with some of our best work. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. I mean, other than the Jagged Little Pill album, I've never really got into Alanis that much. But what I do hear, I really do enjoy listening to. But this is up there. I mean, it's one of our best. It really is.
Yeah.
Up until, I mean, her first 7 albums are brilliant. They really are. And even the ones after that, there's something good on each of them. But her first 7 albums are utterly brilliant.
Yeah. Worth a delve, I would have to say. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on. Craig, your third pick.
I'm just debating which way around to do it. I'll keep them in the order that I did the list of, and I'm going to go, which is completely pop-tastic, with Take That, Rule the World from the film Stardust. Now, this film is absolutely fecking hilarious. I've loved it since going to see it on its opening weekend. It has got, it's got an absolute cast list to die for. And it's just a great fantasy romp. This song is on the end of the film, and this song really sometimes it's not the song's fault, but it's people's fault because 99.9% of people who know this song don't actually realize it's from this film and the lyrics are about this film. and and it's just, I mean, it's a brilliant pop song. And John, have you actually seen the film? 'Cause I
No,
don't, this is
no, but I've heard this song 4 million times. So
yes, yes, you will. But I mean, if you look at I mean, if you know the story, it's a very, very British film. It's based on a Neil Gaiman novel. The script, I mean, was it Matthew Vaughn who directed it, and the script is by Jonathan Voss's missus. And it's just great. I mean, the cast to die for. I mean, you look at it, Ian McKellen, David Kelly is in it. And if you're of our generation, David Kelly was an Irish actor, very, very old. I mean, he's long past now. But if you ever watched Robin's Nest, the sitcom back in like the 70s and 80s, the spin-off to George and Mildred, A Man About the House, he's the Irish waiter who waited in the TV show there, but you'll know his voice rather than necessarily see him. But I mean, you got Melody Hill, Charlie Cox, Sienna Miller, Henry Cavill, Peter O'Toole, Mark Strong, Jason Fleming, Mark Heap, Rupert Everett, David Williams. I mean, you can go on and on. Claire Danes, and everybody and the granny is in this film. And even if you want to see an Oscar winner transit up and sing the can.
Oh, funny. It's so funny.
It's a film that you've really, really got to see. It's absolutely brilliant. But the song, I mean, you know fine well that Take That are the kings of pop, and this was one of their biggest hits after they came back from their retirement. And it's a great pop tune from a great film, and I just thought it deserves to be in there.
it's a great song, and it, well, like you say, it was one of the big hits from when they came back. It's on the deluxe version of the Beautiful World album, which was their comeback album of 2006. I think it got to number 2, didn't it, Mikey? In the singles.
Believe so, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
brilliant song. I mean, it means nothing. The film means nothing to me at all. I haven't seen it at all, and based on what Craig just said, I'm not really likely to either.
Oh, it's hysterical. You like Ricky Gervais? He plays a mouse in it. It's great.
I mean, the list of people that's in it is amazing, but Grae.
I absolutely love the song. I think the song's amazing. I'm a bit of a Take That fan, to be honest with you. Their resurgence, their stuff was absolutely amazing. But I'm also a massive Neil Gaiman fan, so I knew this before the film. I had the DC Comics version of it, and I love the story, and to see it brought to life in the way it was, with some of the characters and the acting, was brilliant. And then for me, again, the song is intrinsic to the film. It's just, but a brilliant song, brilliant songwriting, great performance, and good fun.
Yeah, Mikey, anything to add?
Yeah, not really. I think it's all been said. It is a brilliant film. Love Neil Gaiman's stuff. And yeah, Take That, we're back, and they were back on form. It was, like you said, John, it was basically a standalone single, but was put on special editions of the comeback album. In retrospect, I remember on TV there being some sort of premiere for the video, and it's like, oh, we've got another song coming out, and then like, oh, okay, then it's a really, really, really well written song. I mean, give them the dues. Mr. Barlow knows how to write a song. Like, yeah, brilliant, good stuff.
Okay. So Mikey, we're back to you for your final pick.
Well, for my final pick, believe it or not, I've gone down a Pet Shop Boys route.
Oh, well done.
Sure.
Song.
How long have we been on that? So that's nearly an hour where you've not talked about that. That's a round of applause for that, I think. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So the song is The Crying Game from the film The Crying Game, sang by Boy George and produced by Pet Shop Boys. The film was directed by Neil Jordan of Interview with the Vampire fame. It was originally going to be called The Soldier's Wife, and I dragged Craig along to go and see it. Didn't know what the film was going to be about. And
You saw it
were
all
quite
opening
surprised
weekend.
halfway.
Yeah.
And we
You
were
saw it
quite
opening
surprised
weekend.
halfway through as to the way the film went. But it's a brilliant movie. The Pet Shop Boys were asked to curate the entire soundtrack for the movie. The producer was Stephen Woolley, who had previously produced the film Scandal in 1989, for which they'd recorded Nothing Has Been Proved with Dusty Springfield. So that was their shoehorn to getting the job to curate the soundtrack. There's original songs on there. There's a song by their protege Cicero, and this song, which was obviously a cover version. And I think if you didn't know there was a previous song called The Crying Game, and you heard this, you would just think, oh yeah, the Pet Shop Boys and Boy George have done a really good song together. I think it sounds of its time. I think it's got a very Twin Peaksy kind of twang to it. I think it's dripping in bittersweet, sort of like mesmerizing hooks. And I don't think Boy George has delivered a song as good as this since his Culture Club days. Yes, it's by the Pet Shop Boys, and yes, I was going to probably shoehorn this in anyway, but I really, really do adore this version of it. And I'm going to paraphrase slightly here. But there was a story when the Pet Shop Boys approached Boy George about it, and he went, "Oh yeah, okay, then I'll go along and I'll sing this song for you." And when he got to the studio, the boys kind of played the backing track and all the rest of it, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to catch them out here." And he says, "Oh, it's in the wrong key. I need it in this key for my voice." And they just went, "Okay then," and they changed the key for him, and he was like, right, okay, now I know that I know how to make music. I'm going to stay and I'm going to do the song with them, because he was very quickly going to dismiss them and walk away. But I do. I think it's an absolutely beautiful version of this song. Love the original. Love this one. I think it's great and deserves to be on the list.
Okay. Craig?
Yeah, it's a good tune. I remember us going to see this. It was, like say, opening weekend, if I remember. Back in the day, we used to go and see everything on opening weekend when we had lives. And yeah, getting the surprise of seeing more of Jay Davidson than we were expecting to see in the reveal, shall we say. But yeah, no, it deserves the praise that Mikey's given it. You know, it's a classic version, your cover version, and it's nicely done. And the film was quite well received at the time. It was not, was it challenging? I mean, because it was, you know, IRA subject matter as well as, you know,
Yeah, I think at the time it was
sexuality
quite a
and
brave
things.
film to make.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, had a really good cast in it and that as well. And yeah. And then Jay Davidson, he did this, he did Stargate, then he pretty much disappeared, didn't he?
He was raw in the first Stargate, wasn't
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
he? So I was gonna surprise John with a couple of fantasy links, because obviously you've got Stephen Rea as the Interview with the Vampire as well, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. Yeah. I do know the original of this. So, and the original was released 10 days before I was born. It's that old.
Nothing's that old.
It is. I'm sorry. To me, it sounds a bit like Soft Cell.
Hmm.
An update of another 60s song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if I prefer it to the original, if I'm honest. I mean, I know why Mikey does, and that's cool, but I don't think it's anything out the ordinary for me, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I think it's the best recording that Boy George has done vocally. I mean, I know there's some of the stuff that he did with Culture Club and the solo was quite good. But I think performance-wise, there's a touch of class to it. It's really well done. I think the production on it is fantastic. The film was really an interesting watch, and that if you don't know what's coming when it happens, you're like, what? Really well done, really good storyline. And again, it's one of those things now I can't hear the song without thinking of the film. So Jay Davison did Stargate 2 years later, and then did Jiggery Pokery, and then has done bugger all since, really. Interesting. But yeah, the songs, I love the song. Really do.
Okay. My last pick is from the 1989 teen romantic comedy drama Say Anything, and it is Peter Gabriel's amazing track In Your Eyes. It's an iconic clip where John Cusack is stood outside the window with a ghetto blaster playing In Your Eyes. But I mean, I picked it for the song as much as anything else. I do remember seeing a film at the time, but that was a long time ago. But again, there are a number of Gabriel tracks could have picked for this list. I nearly picked Shaking the Tree, but which is great with Yasser and Do. But In Your Eyes is an absolute stone cold Gabriel classic from a great album. I don't know what else to say. I mean, everybody on here knows this song.
Oh yes, and I mean it's still in his set lists now for the last live tours, and it's always a highlight. That's brilliant.
But it's a famous clip, isn't it? You know, him stood outside with the ghetto blaster. And
for those younger people that are listening, it's the same scene in Deadpool 2 with the same song.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me to pick a Gabriel song for a movie, it would probably have been this one. Could have been The Book of Love, but that's a cover, so I would probably have picked this instead.
That is it. There's loads. There's Philadelphia stuff on Philadelphia. There's, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of my favourite tracks off Saw, to be honest with you. I think it's up there with some of his best work. It really is. It's a nice choice. I don't think I've seen the film, but I definitely have seen clips of the sequence that you're talking about. You know, I think it's one of them things that, you know, you can go through life not watching films, but know enough about them to think that you know what the film's about, if that makes sense. It's like, I think I've never seen When Harry Met Sally, but you know enough about, you know, the stuff that goes on in it. But yeah, classic choice.
I mean, let's be honest. He's made a movie of songs that he's had in films, hasn't he? He's made an album of songs that he's had in films, hasn't he?
More than that. I mean, he's put one out, but there's more tracks than there are been in films as well. You know, which is great because I mean, you could have put anything from Rabbit Foot Fence on there, couldn't you? Which is all but
Last Temptation of Christ and Birdie, as full soundtracks. But I mean,
I think his music has such depth. It really does, and it's suited to these things. But yeah, amazing artist. Okay, Grae, your final pick.
So I'm bucking the trend. I'm going with TV this time.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know, which is why I haven't. That's why the Banana Splits isn't on my list.
Oh, what a song! What a band!
Yeah.
So I was one of those people that got swept up in the media frenzy for Yellowstone. Absolutely love it. But it was also the first time I watched it, I was sitting going, I'm sure I know that song. And then later on the episode, I'm like, sure I know that song as well. Then episode 3, I'm like, he must be a fan. And the song I've chosen is The Humbling River by Pucifer. So that's from episode 3 of Yellowstone. Maynard Keenan. So I'm on a bit of a kick at the moment. But the way this song is done, the simple arrangement, the male and female harmony melodies, the counterpoint, the way it's done is just really, really clever. So it's a song that I love from an artist that I love from a TV show that I was kind of obsessed by when it came out. So it was always going to be one of the 5 or 6 songs that I chose.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, I did watch the first couple of seasons of Yellowstone. I never managed to get massively into it. But upon listening to it back today, I've got vague recollection of it.
Yeah.
But it's a nice. Well, it's not a nice tune. It's
it's quite dark.
it's a bit dark. But we love our dark songs. We love our dark songs.
Yeah, I think this was a bit of a revelation for me because I've not seen the TV series, not heard anything by Christopher, so it was, very wordy.
Yes.
And I think, I haven't seen Yellowstone, but I know the premise. And I think the lyrics actually blend really nicely. I mean, I'm guessing it wasn't specifically wrote for it, but
No.
when you're cherry picking songs that will fit the remit, they have picked this really, really well.
Very, very.
And yeah, I found myself getting a bit lost in it. It's quite absorbing, I think is the word I will use. There's again simple arrangement, but more going on than what you think there is.
And a lot of the Pacific stuff is like that. It's kind of translated.
Yeah, the vocal work between them is just stunning, really nice. But you know that Brave the Forest, Brave the Stone stuff, it just paints a picture.
Yep.
You know, and when songs do that, marrying to film or TV, and it pays off really well. This has done it. Really, really, really pleasant choice. Again, something new, always good.
Yeah, I must admit, I didn't know the song. It gets more interesting as the female vocal comes in for me. It's kind of one level until then, and then it kind of lifts a little bit and takes you somewhere else.
So she is probably one of the most versatile female vocalists I've come across. She's got a lot of solo stuff of her own. She's called Karina Round.
Karina Round was on. She was part of Tears for Fears.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's got an amazing voice.
I've seen her with Tears for Fears, actually, yeah.
And I've seen her with Pucifer, and she is utterly stunning. And everything she does is just precise. It is so well, and which why it's so what I think. We talked about Maynard Keenan in the Perfect Circle album. He's really good at controlling his voice and using it as a tool and doing the thing, using it to portray something. And she's exactly the same and able to sort of counterfoil him. They are so good in the band, so good.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, in 2016 and 2019, she tours with Tears for Fears, and she sang "Woman in Chains" with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Brilliant. Okay, well, there's only one way to finish this off. That's with his lordship and his final selection. Craig, what have you got for us?
What I have gone for is Iggy Pop's "Lust for Life," which was used in Trainspotting. And initially in the trailer, I think back in 1996 when it came out. Now, Trainspotting was a big thing for me and Mikey back in 96 because we actually went to see that on its opening night, on the Friday night at home, before any of the hype, before any of its popularity or anything like that. We saw the trailer a few weeks beforehand, and we're like, we want to see this. So, and it was actually bizarrely on the opening night, we saw it at the Metro Centre in Gateshead, and it was on screen 11, the biggest screen, and it was actually packed. It was bizarre because the film had such a kind of buzz to it before it actually even came out. and then it hit a cultural zeitgeist, and it was pretty much for our generation the film of the year in '96 next to Independence Day, but do sci-fi and Star Trek First Contact, but we'll not go there. And this is was it like 1977 tune by Iggy Pop, which helped kind of restart his career a little bit, because he was a bit kind of not massively known in the UK, obviously massive in the States, but he was a bit of a left field figure in the UK. And this is it's an absolute banger of a tune. And also at the time, I think 96 or 97 was his one of the happiest times in his life, because he got a career kickstart by this song, and he got his lifelong ambition to be in Star Trek. So there you go. We'll show how the sci-fi in there somewhere. He played a voter in Deep Space Nine. There we go.
Lust for Life, Grae.
So again, it's one of those, so I knew the song beforehand, but nowadays I can't think of the song without thinking of Trainspotting. And Trainspotting, the movie, was just one of those cultural phenomenons that I think it became far bigger than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It just seemed to touch the right nerve with everybody in the country. It became absolutely massive. Most of the actors went on to do loads. And shameless plug, so there is actually currently a Trainspotting the musical on in the West End, and my son-in-law is in the cast.
It's just been cancelled today.
So the tour's been cancelled,
So,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
the
an
tour's
absolute
been
disgrace and
cancelled.
shame.
So there's a lot of discussion about that, because I'll not talk about it on air. But yeah, so the tour for the Scotland and what have you has been cancelled, but the West End musical's playing. So.
But the thing is, it's like, support your live artists, support your live theatre. It needs it.
I know.
Mikey,
I love it.
Lust for Life.
Yeah. Trainspotting, Irvine Welsh, the soundtrack, the VHS that I bought with the orange sunglasses in it. It was just it was just a time, and again, it was one of those tracks that was lifted from an existing repertoire and plonked onto a movie that made it perfect. I mean, this was on one of my first lists for this pod tonight, but I couldn't remove it from things like Deep Blue Day by Brian Eno. There was also Nightclubbing by Iggy Pop in the same movie, My Land by Pulp, Born Slippy, Underworld. There's just, the soundtrack is just banging. It is absolutely spot on. Love the film, love the soundtrack. I'm not a big Iggy Pop fan, but the two songs that are on the soundtrack still play to this day. Brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's synonymous with the film, isn't it? I think I'm just trying to see. Was it part of the trailer? It must have been part of the trailer.
Lust for Life, yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely synonymous with this film. Like you say, I'm not particularly an Iggy fan, but it's a great piece of music, and it does evoke the images from the film for me. I think I saw it back in the day. I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of the film. It was very much of its time, I think, wasn't it? Captured a moment in time.
Yep.
Yeah, as Craig says, kind of relaunched Iggy to a new audience and kind of spurred him on to the third part of his career, I presume it would have been. But yeah, great pick. I mean, what a pick, what a list, Craig. Kermit, Carly Simon, Take That, and Iggy Pop.
There you go.
Yeah. You're complex, aren't you? You're complex now.
I think the term is fecked up.
I didn't say that. I said complex, mate. So those are our picks. We had to keep it down to 4, which severely limited certainly some of these guys. I think that Mikey's got a list of about 110 songs he wanted in the podcast. He did throw it out to the Facebook group, didn't you, Mikey? To say
I did indeed.
You got some responses there, didn't you?
Yes, we did. I'll go with the first one. We had Hamish Mackenzie give us a handful. His choices were Forbidden Colours by Sakamoto and Sylvian, which was from the movie Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Great song.
I'm Deranged by David Bowie from the movie Lost Highway. These Days by Nico, which I hadn't heard until he mentioned it, and I think it's a beautiful song. That was from the movie The Royal Tenenbaums. And Wise Up by Amy Mann from the movie Magnolia.
Okay. Stephen Dempster posted some comments. Midnight Blue by Lou Gramm from the film Midnight Blue. Lost in the Shadows, again by Lou Gramm from the Lost Boys. Phil Oakey and Giorgio Moroder together in Electric Dreams, great song from Electric Dreams. And Linkin Park, a track called New Divide from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Yep. And then we had Jeffro, who gave us a good list, which had some Tony Banks and Toya, and Tony Banks and Fish. So Lion of Symmetry from Lorca and the Outlaws with Toya, and then Shortcut to Somewhere from the movie Quicksilver with Fish. And I mean, they're both very much of their time. I actually did make a point of listening to these because I really like Toya and I like Tony Banks. The Toya of Tony Banks one actually sounds like, for me, it's Genesis, the album era keyboard sounds with Toya singing them. It's actually quite an interesting track.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
really enjoyed it. I was really quite surprised and pleasantly surprised. The Fish one I knew about, and obviously the Fish one has the Skyline Drifters lyric in it and what have you. Then there was a Dream Academy, Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Personally, I'd have chosen Dum Dum Chicka Chicka. And then you got Brian Ferry, which from Legend, Is Your Love Strong Enough? Some really good choices.
Yeah, Darren Hicks has picked Robin Tepper, No Easy Way Out from Rocky 4. God, I haven't seen Rocky 4 since.
That's a left
since
field
the
choice,
sort
that
of
one, isn't
pictures,
it?
It is, yeah. And Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Love Kills from Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
So I just
Again,
have
that's
to say,
going back very 80s there.
yeah, I just have to say things like Vinnie Vincent's Invasion, Tony McAlpine, all this kind of sort of keytar guitar, absolutely brilliant. I was really into it at the time. I don't think I've listened to any of it since 1990. It's weird looking back to it.
Mikey,
Matthew Brian Reid gave us a few. Metallica's I Disappear from Mission Impossible 2. And another one from Mission Impossible 2, which was the Foo Fighters featuring Brian May and their cover version of Have a Cigar. And AC/DC's track Big Gun from Last Action Hero with the Schwarzenegger.
Okay, and the final one from the list that we got was David Beckwith, who put Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins from Top Gun. June!
It is a tune, isn't it?
June! But there's lots more that we could have picked. I'm sure you've got lots of ideas, so please join in the conversation on the Planet Music Facebook group. Any others that you want to throw in as a freebie, guys? Just a list rather than a debate?
There's the Who Made Who thing. The album, was it AC/DC? What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about I throw some songs at you and you tell me what the movies are?
Oh dear.
Not talking to me, are you?
Annie Lennox, Love Song for a Vampire.
Is it? Ooh.
Interview with a Vampire.
No, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I was going to say it's
Bram
Dracula,
Stoker's
isn't it?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Aqua, Turn Back Time.
Sliding Doors?
Barbie.
Sliding Doors, correct. We're going to go with When the Going Gets Tough, Billy Ocean.
Romance in the Stone. Is it
Jewel of the
Romance
Nile?
in
It's one of the two of them.
Everything I Do It For You, Brian Adams.
Robin Hood,
Go on, John.
Prince of Thieves.
Yeah. I was going to say The Hooded Man by Clenard. That was my TV choice, but you know
I
what?
chose
that's
Harry's
wrong.
Game.
Craig threw in Summer Holiday Today by Cliff Richard.
Cliff.
Is it all from the young ones?
The Heart's Filthy Lesson, David Bowie.
Oh,
No.
7.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Didn't know
Yeah.
that one.
yeah. There's some really obvious ones. I'll pick a. All right, Book of Days, Enya. It was a Nicole Kidman and anyway, it was Far and Away.
Oh, right.
Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Tom Cruise, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig knows this one. Fiona Apple, Across the Universe.
Yeah, we've already done that. Pleasantville. Yeah.
Gary Jules, Mad World.
Donnie
Donnie
Darko.
Darko.
Yeah.
What a film.
The Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News.
It's from Back to the Future.
Yay!
Yay, John Doe!
And Back in Time on the same soundtrack.
Yes.
My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion.
Titanic.
Joe
All I'm
Cocker
going to
and
say is
Jennifer
he's not
Warnes,
his best soundtrack.
Up Where We Belong.
Officer and a Gentleman.
Well done, John. We could go on forever, couldn't we? Blaze of Glory
I think we are,
by,
boy.
by John Bon Jovi.
What?
Young Guns.
Young Guns 2.
Oh, well, there you go.
Don't want to miss a thing, Aerosmith.
Armageddon, out of here.
Yeah.
Armageddon out of here. But, you know, you've got classics in there like Phil Collins, Groovy Kind of Love, Against All Odds,
And Buster.
Prince,
Yeah.
Purple Rain, Party Man from Batman. You know,
Stonehenge.
Rose Voice, Car Wash.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Was it?
No, Stonehenge. What's it from?
Spinal Tap.
Lost me here.
Final Tap. Final Tap.
Of course. Yeah. It's the list just goes on and on. Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me.
Batman.
By you two.
Batman Forever
Yeah.
with
Madonna, Beautiful Stranger.
Austin Powers.
Oh, what was the one
Inspire
she-
Shag Me.
What was the
Spy
one
Who
she
Shagged
did? What was the one she did for the baseball thing?
Was that
I'll remember.
I'll Remember? Oh, was that Without Honours?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Who I'm going to say 2 names and you'll get them. Kenny Loggins.
Footloose.
Follows, yeah.
Yeah. Irene Cara.
Flashdance.
Flashdance.
No, Fame. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Ray
Flashdance.
Parker
Oh, yeah,
Jr.
okay,
Ray
Ghostbusters.
Parker Jr.
Ghostbusters.
Nothing's going to stop us now, Starship.
Mannequin.
Mannequin, correct. Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
Rocky 3.
We're going to have to stop this, aren't we?
Yes,
Take my breath.
You got all that, but yeah.
Take my breath away, Berlin.
Top Gun.
And your last one, Double Back by ZZ Top, which was very nearly on my list.
Oh, no.
What's it?
Back to the Future.
It's Back to the
Part
Future 3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got there
Well
in the end.
done. Well done.
Okay. On that bombshell, I would just like to thank my co-host, Mikey K.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Graham Tennick.
Cheers. This one's been a fun one. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. And thank you to Greg Houston.
Why, thank you.
All that remains to be said is good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with an album review. And
Stay alive. Hey. Thanks for listening.
To Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan.
If you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe, and maybe even join our Facebook discussion group.
You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com.